In this video, we'll walk you through 20 actual CDL test questions with detailed answers and explanations to help you ace your exam. Let's get started. Which type of fire can be extinguished with water? Gasoline fires, electrical fires, tire fires. The correct answer is C, tire fires. Water may be used to extinguish a Class A fire, which includes non-electrical and non-liquid fires, such as wood, cloth, paper, and even truck tires. Depending on the heat of the fire, it may require a large amount of water to extinguish the flames and prevent them from starting again. To help you to stay alert while driving, you should take cold medicine if you have a cold. Schedule trips for hours that you are normally asleep. Take periodic breaks. The correct answer is C. Take periodic breaks. It is not worth the risk to attempt to drive when you are tired. Stop and get some rest, whether it is a full night's sleep or just a daytime nap to refresh yourself. To avoid a crash, you had to drive into the right shoulder. You are now driving at 40 miles per hour on the shoulder. How should you move back into the pavement? If the shoulder is clear, stay on the right until your vehicle comes to a stop, then move back into the pavement when it is safe. Steer sharply onto the pavement, then brake hard as you counter-steer. Brake hard to slow the vehicle, then steer sharply onto the pavement. The correct answer is A. If the shoulder is clear, stay on the right until your vehicle comes to a stop, then move back into the pavement when it is safe. Assuming that the shoulder is clear and presents no imminent danger, slow to a stop on the shoulder. You can then start moving again and merge back onto the roadway at a more controlled speed. Which of these statements about driving in areas with strong wind is true? The lighter your vehicle, the less trouble you will have with the wind. You should drive alongside other vehicles to help break up the wind. Winds are especially a problem when coming out of tunnels. The correct answer is C. Winds are especially a problem when coming out of tunnels. Tractor trailers and buses expose a large surface area to winds that can potentially buffet the vehicle and influence vehicle steering and center of gravity. Keep a tight grip on the steering wheel when traveling through high winds, especially as you exit a tunnel. Which of these is a good thing to do when driving at night? Keep your speed slow enough that you can stop within the range of your headlights. Keep your instrument lights bright. Look directly at the oncoming headlights only briefly. The correct answer is A. Keep your speed slow enough that you can stop within the range of your headlights. Do not allow your speed to outdistance your vision. During the daytime, a driver would normally watch the road a quarter mile ahead, which is 1,320 feet. However, high-beam headlights will likely only provide up to 350 to 500 feet of visibility, and low beams around 250 feet. Ensure that your vehicle speed is slow enough to stop within your field of vision. You are driving a 40-foot vehicle at 35 miles per hour. The road is dry and visibility is good. What is the least amount of space you should keep in front of your vehicle to be safe? 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. The correct answer is B, 4 seconds. Allow 1 second of space per 10 feet of vehicle length when traveling 40 miles per hour or under. If over 40 miles per hour, add 1 additional second. Therefore, at 35 miles per hour, you should allow a minimum of 4 seconds of space between you and the closest vehicle ahead. What is the proper way to hold a steering wheel? With both hands close together, near the bottom of the wheel. With both hands on opposite sides of the wheel. With both hands close together, near the top of the wheel. The correct answer is B. With both hands on opposite sides of the wheel. The proper way to hold the steering wheel is with 2 hands positioned on opposite sides of the wheel. Be sure to use a hand-over-hand technique when turning. High beams should be Turned on when an oncoming driver does not dim his or her lights. Dimmed at the time when you get within 100 feet of another vehicle. Used when it is safe and legal to do so. The correct answer is C. Used when it is safe and legal to do so. Use high beams whenever possible and allowed. Switch to low beams when the situation requires, such as when behind another vehicle, driving in a city, or a vehicle approaching in the other lane. You can see a marking on a vehicle ahead of you. The marking is a red triangle with an orange center. What does the marking mean? It is being driven by a student driver. It may be a slow-moving vehicle. The vehicle is hauling hazardous materials. The correct answer is B. It may be a slow-moving vehicle. A red triangle with an orange center is the universal sign for a slow-moving vehicle. These vehicles typically cannot travel faster than 20 miles per hour, so be prepared to slow down when approaching them. Which of these is not part of the pre-trip inspection of the engine compartment? Engine oil level. Valve clearance. Worn electrical wiring insulation. The correct answer is B. Valve clearance. Pre-trip inspections involve checking things visually and operating various controls. Tools and disassembly are not required, such as checking valve clearance. You will be checking fluid levels for worn electrical wiring and any obvious defect. The road you are driving on becomes very slippery due to glare ice. Which of these is a good thing to do in such a situation? Keep varying your speed by accelerating and braking. Downshift to stop. Stop driving as soon as you can safely do so. The correct answer is C. Stop driving as soon as you can safely do so. It is recommended that speed be reduced by a third for wet and rainy conditions, by half for snowy conditions, and down to a crawl if there is ice on the road. If you experience glare ice on the roadway, you should find a safe place to park and wait for conditions to improve before continuing. You are driving a vehicle that could be driven safely at 55 miles per hour on an open road, but traffic is heavy and other vehicles drive at the speed of 35 miles per hour, though the speed limit is 55 miles per hour. The safest speed for your vehicle is more likely to be 45 miles per hour, 55 miles per hour, 35 miles per hour. The correct answer is C, 35 miles per hour. The posted speed limit assumes that ideal weather and traffic conditions exist, and the speed is for light trucks and passenger cars. If conditions result in traffic driving slower, such as 35 miles per hour, then you need to match the slower speed of traffic. What is countersteering? Turning the wheel back in the other direction after steering to avoid a traffic emergency. Turning the steering wheel counterclockwise. Using the steering axle brakes to prevent oversteering. The correct answer is A. Turning the wheel back in the other direction after steering to avoid a traffic emergency. When applied to a tractor-trailer, countersteer simply means turning the steering wheel back in the other direction once you've finished a turn to straighten the vehicle and stop turning. In an emergency, you should steer countersteer all in one continuous movement. Which of these statements about backing a heavy vehicle is true? It is safer to back toward the right side of the vehicle than toward the driver's side. You should avoid backing whenever you can. Helpers should be out of the driver's sight and use only voice signals to communicate with the driver. The correct answer is B. You should avoid backing whenever you can. Backing a commercial truck should be a last resort and only done when absolutely necessary, such as backing into a loading dock. Which of these best describes how to use the brake pedal on a steep downhill grade? Release the brake when you are 5 miles per hour below your safe speed, then let your speed come back up to your safe speed, and repeat again. Bring speed down 5 miles per hour below your safe speed. Repeated strong pressure, then release. Light, pumping action. The correct answer is A. Release the brake when you are 5 miles per hour below your safe speed, then let your speed come back up to your safe speed, and repeat again. Bring speed down 5 miles per hour below your safe speed. Rely on engine braking, or a retarder, as much as possible on a steep downgrade. When the vehicle reaches the speed limit, apply the brakes just long enough to reduce your speed by 5 miles per hour. Then, release the brakes and repeat the process. If needed, pull over and let the brakes cool down. Which of these statements about using turn signals is true? You do not need to use your turn signal when changing lanes in traffic on a 4-lane highway. When turning, you should signal early. You should use your turn signal to mark your vehicle when it is pulled off on the side of the road. The correct answer is B. When turning, you should signal early. Turn signals notify your intentions of turning to other drivers. Thus, the signal should be activated early as you approach the turn. Which of these statements about double clutching and shifting is true? You can use the tachometer to tell you when to shift. Double clutching should only be used with a heavy load. Double clutching should not be used when the road is slippery. The correct answer is A. You can use the tachometer to tell you when to shift. Every engine has an RPM range where it produces the most torque to propel a vehicle forward. Use your tachometer to shift in a manner that matches the torque of the engine. Which of these statements about speed management is true? When you double your speed, it will take twice the distance to stop. You should choose a speed that lets you stop within the distance that you can see ahead. Empty trucks always stop in a shorter distance than fully loaded. The correct answer is B. You should choose a speed that lets you stop within the distance that you can see ahead. You should be able to stop your vehicle within your field of vision. Slow down if vision is impaired by weather or lighting conditions. Retarders can cause the drive wheels to skid when they have poor traction. Work when you apply the brake pedal. Cause extra brake wear. The correct answer is A. Can cause the drive wheels to skid when they have poor traction. Retarders require good traction in order to operate correctly. If weather conditions result in wheel slippage due to poor traction, turn off the retarder until conditions improve. To correct a drive wheel braking skid, you should increase braking, turn quickly, and counter steer. Stop braking, turn quickly, then counter steer. The correct answer is C. Stop braking, turn quickly, then counter steer. First, take your foot off the brake to allow the wheel to turn. Second, turn in the direction of the skid. Third, once the vehicle straightens out, counter steer to avoid skidding in the other direction. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more CDL test prep content.